So
There's some
that was a whole nother
serious,
thing.
yeah. And then you woke up to some experiences. I had something last night that told me there was going to be, are we live? We're live. That told me something that I was not expecting. So I was like, oh, mother of goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we're live. Assign participants to a scene. I don't want to. I'm going to see if I can find the chat, get that open up
Did you see
here.
the title I gave myself?
No, generally, I didn't see that.
I used to do Zoom meetings all the time at the university, and I would do it all the time. I would just put random titles in there because nobody looks in the meeting. And every once in a while, like the dean was in a meeting one time and he was in the middle of a sentence and he looked up and he said, "When did we hire an ostrich wrangler?" And I just started laughing. I was like, "Just me."
I freaking
Rochelle,
well.
good morning. Good evening. Good
Hey,
evening, Rochelle, Allison, Beverly, Sally. Hello and welcome in.
you said it correctly. Most people call her Rachel.
That's because I've said it wrong 7,000 times. And she
Me
has
too.
very kindly,
She.
gently reminded me. And this time I actually stopped myself. I'm like, Rochelle. Which is interesting because Reiki Rachel spells her name exactly the same.
Yeah, that's Rachel.
Yeah.
She knows I told her.
So funny. Good evening. Hello. Hello. So I would love to start the evening with a very funny story for you.
Do it.
So I have to look at the dates. So I have the exact dates. Hold on. I found out that I have ancestry to a serial killer.
Well, that explains it. No, I'm kidding.
Right. So my family is Irish Scottish, right? They immigrated from that area.
Yes.
My dad's parents immigrated. So that's very close, right? So
Okay.
there was this, I'm going to read you the little blurb, right? So my maiden name was Hare, Hare. Okay. The
Oh,
Burke and Hare murders were a series of 16 murders committed in Edinburgh, Scotland between 1827 and 1828 by William Burke and William Hare. They murdered people, often too poor and vulnerable, and sold their bodies to a surgeon for use in anatomical
oh,
studies.
oh my God.
So there's actually a movie, a comedy
Oh, they
out.
made that funny.
It was kind of so these two, all right, yes, they were serial killers. However, they were so specific in the way they killed people, it became a new like type of murder. So what they
Oh,
did was they would see a woman outside who was really poor or whatever, and they would
oh,
call her in and they would get her drunk. And when she passed out, one of them would just lay on top of her until she stopped breathing. But they did it to men and whomever. And then when the body was still hot, I know this is so macabre, I'm so sorry. But when the body was still warm, they would take it and sell it to the school because back then doctors did not have anyone or anything to practice on. That's where grave robbing came in. So they would dig up the bodies and sell them for money for the surgeons. This is all in our this is true stuff.
oh, we have some
Um,
wickedly disgusting history
oh
for
well,
sure.
and this happened in America, but this was in Scotland when this happened,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, yeah, I'm related to William Hare.
Oh,
Um,
no.
we found this out. My grandfather did this is before computers, back when I was a teenager. My grandfather did a bunch of genealogy and he discovered this and he told the whole family at a family reunion. And he's like, guess what?
You know when we're done with this, how I download it, and then I will go in and I'll add commentary. I'm gonna have to find some fun commentary for
Oh
that
yeah.
part. Maybe find some studies or some
Oh, it's hilarious. And
arrows pointing at you related to serial killer.
the story is so interesting. Like you have to go on and the movie is really fun to watch because it is a comedy. It's a
Oh,
dark comedy, but
oh,
it's a dark comedy, but it's called Burke and Hare, I believe. There's even okay, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay.
what's that? Oh, so red.
Oh shoot, where'd it go?
while you're doing that, hi, ladies. So I see Beverly, Mary, Arva, Deb, Rochelle, Laura, Erica, Arva, Mary, or I think I've said those names twice. Sally.
Um, oh, I can't find it. There is actually a creepy nursery rhyme about Burke and
Connected
Hare.
to it.
Yeah, it's the Burke and Hare creepy nursery rhyme, and it's something like, "If you don't behave, they'll come in the night and they'll steal your body, blah, 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 blah," like, it's
Oh,
it's super creepy, super creepy. I can't find it, but you can find it, somebody will find it.
oh my
So,
goodness.
fun way to start the evening. What can we do? We can only
with,
laugh about our history, right?
with a little macabre. I think I am related to there was a family on, I think it was HBO, called The Marvelous Whites. And my family, my grandma's family's from West Virginia in the hills. That I don't know if that's considered Appalachia, but they were that type. So I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
my,
I think there's probably somebody like that in everybody's family, but we don't
dude.
talk about it because how would you know? I didn't know that until my grandfather discovered. We would have never known. It would have stayed there because once they immigrated, like, they didn't bring that. It's not like my grandparents walked around
Right?
like, "Hey, guess what?" Like, it's not like that. And it
I
wasn't
just
that many generations removed from my grandparents, which is really interesting. And I don't know how exactly I'm related. He was not like an uncle. He was like a cousin or something like that, but he was
oh
still,
gotcha.
you know.
So, so you can say that was not my mom's brother.
Right.
Oh shoot. Yeah, that's so interesting. Oh my god. It's funny because I had a thought and I just lost it. I have been doing that. Well, I mean, anybody who watches knows I do it a lot, but I mean recently too, it's just been like, what were the words I was gonna say? Could somebody just
I
telepathy
figure
me?
if I need to know it, I'll say it again, right?
No, what kind of
Sally, I
sense?
am so glad you love the cards. These cards are called the Intuitive City Oracle deck. He does not sell them anywhere except off of his website. I think he has an Etsy store, but I'm not 100% sure on that. His website is just called intuitiveintention.com. And he has
Ah,
this deck and several other decks. He designed this. This is his artwork. This is the only deck I use. I freaking love it. And he's just an all around fantastic guy. So if you are interested, it's intuitiveintention.com is the best place to get that.
I'll see if I can find a link for it. Hold on.
Perimenopause. So fun, right?
Dude.
Also, this energy will do it. I mean,
Yeah, and
if
I'm glad that you
you,
brought that up. That's a good
right.
segue.
So, something for everyone to remember, right? We are all energetic beings. We are all electrical in nature. Our brain, our heart, everything is electrical in nature. When there's
Give me
this
the
much,
website. What was the website?
intuitiveintention.com.
Okay, now talk.
When there's this much energy coming in, it can act like your circuits get overwhelmed. Like if you don't have a surge protector and you get a lightning storm, it'll blow your circuits, right?
Yep,
This is the
yep.
same sort of thing. We are all energetic beings. This
Mhm.
amount of energy is not usual. It's not normal. So it's not something that our bodies are necessarily designed to get a lot of. And I will tell you, I watched a friend of mine, his name is Jordan. He was talking about how he's seen the northern lights in Florida for the third time in 18 months. That that is wrong. That is wrong. There's something wrong there. Something's broken. Something's not working, right?
Yeah.
Like something's going on with that. That's very,
Mhm.
very unusual. But it goes back to the idea that that's a lot of incoming energy. And it's not like energy just looks at you and says, "Oh, you're overwhelmed. Okay, I'll wait."
Yeah, no.
No, you know?
Yeah, and that tends to lead to where we get the sore, the achy, the tired, the exhaustion, because our bodies are telling us to slow down, but we live in this society where it's really hard to do that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a nice little way, a little reminder to ourselves when we do get, you know,
Yeah. During times like this, less is more. Less is more.
less is
You do
more.
not need to a lot of people will tell me what I hear a lot of is, "Why do I feel so anxious when this type of energy is coming in?" And that's a
Yeah.
great question. I'd love to tell you.
Yes.
So, the big white energy is associated with theta brainwave state. If you are spending a lot of time far away from theta brainwave state in something like life, alpha,
Mhm.
right? There's not enough, like, for lack of a better term, space for the two wave patterns to come together. They're conflicting, right?
Yeah.
So it will form a sort of pouch around you and wait. It'll wait for you to get to theta state. Now, for someone like me, because as part of my job, literally, I'm in and out of meditation all day long. I'm in theta
Mhm.
state more often than I'm not in theta state just because of what I do. So for me, I feel it almost instantly and sometimes even before I even hear it when it comes
Mhm.
in, but that's because of the brainwave state I'm in.
You
Most
hear you hear what? Tell
I
tell
hear the
me.
energy as it starts to ramp up, as it starts to hit the pitch in my ears, because I hear a constant hum in my ears. Now, a lot of people tell me, "Oh, it's just tonight. It's just this." No, it's
I
not.
wouldn't tell you that. Yeah.
I hear the hum of the earth in my ears. And I know it's that because when the energy comes in, I hear that
The tone.
tone shift as if the pitch
Okay.
is being tuned up or tuned down. I can tell you if it's white energy or red energy just by the pitch in my ears.
Do you hear it in here or here? Does it come in literally through your ears like a ringing? Like that kind of a
That's a really good
tone?
question, and that's hard to answer because it's hard for me to tell. I hear it in my
I got
head,
you.
but
Okay.
it's like, it's the same idea when you're talking to someone and you get that loud ring in your ear, that it's like that, but it's always there. It's always in the background. Now, I can kinda tune it out a little bit, like, I can purposely not pay
Sure.
attention to it, but at any
Sure.
moment, if I were to focus on it, it would get very loud. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, but I forgot what I was saying ahead before that, but yeah, that's
Because I cut you off.
no, that's okay. But that's for me, that's how that works. Oh, to the pouch around your energy. So, unfortunately, because most of us have very busy lives and a lot of obligation and stress and pressure, we don't spend very much time in theta wave state. And if you have all this energy sort of waiting to integrate and you wait and wait and wait, it starts to irritate you, right? Just like wearing shoes that are too small. You can do it, but you're gonna get a blister, right? So
Yes.
when you start to feel that anxiety, that restlessness, I need to do something, but I don't know what, especially when we've had a lot of energy like this, your first instinct is to get up and run around and do something, but that's wrong. At least from my experience, because what's happening is you have a dissonance between those two energies. You need to calm this one down so this one can integrate. So if you can find a way to ground, to meditate, to do both, if you can be
Yeah.
creative, do something to slow your energy down enough so this pouch of energy can start to sink in. It will get rid of that restlessness.
Which is great because I'm gonna trying to split my screen here. So that kind of leads to the question. I one of the questions for tonight was about grounding. What are grounding practices we can take up in the winter when it's too cold and wet to get our feet on the ground?
So I have my favorite.
There are so many. This is
There's 100
hematite,
ways. Yeah.
dude. Grab some crystals. Hematite is a really good grounding crystal. Um, I mean, it's not the only one. There are tons, but put them in your pocket. Hold them.
Crystals are fantastic. Water is a conductor. Put your feet in some
Yes.
water with some Epsom salt and get the magnesium twofold. It helps ground, it'll circulate your energy, and you'll also soak up some magnesium through the soles of your feet. And women, especially, tend to be
Very
lacking
low.
in magnesium. So it's
Yep.
an easy way to, kind of check a couple boxes.
Yep.
I personally sleep on a grounding sheet every single night. But again, I am someone who's extremely sensitive to the energy. So
Yeah.
I sleep on the grounding sheet. I can feel the energy in the sheet. My husband
You
cannot.
talked about that last time, and then as soon as we got off, somebody emailed me and asked me what kind of sheet, and I was like, "Damn it, I don't know."
Oh, I
just
literally just got
just
whatever the Amazon recommended
oh,
one was.
okay, okay. I was wondering if there was a specific because she was like, "I've tried them, they don't work." I'm like, I don't know. I haven't got one yet, but I'm going to.
Well, the thing to remember about grounding is this is not something that necessarily you're going to see instant results from for a lot of physical things. Emotionally and energetically, yes, you can feel a lot of the times the instant calm, But the things with helping with anti-inflammatory, with inflammation, helping with stiffness and soreness and stuff like that, that takes time because you have a lot of built up energy. It takes time to release that. So you kind of have to give it a minute, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So another way that you can ground your energy is through meditative state. What I do, sometimes my guides will have me bring cords from a source all the way through my body. Sometimes they'll have me start at my solar plexus. Sometimes they'll have me start at my root chakra and go down right into Mother Earth and then draw that energy up through breath work. So it's all intention. So intention and grounding probably go really hand in
Oh, sure.
hand. Okay. So I was just reading through some of the questions here, and someone says to make me a believer, please. That is not our job. Do
Why
anything.
would you want someone to do that?
UBO,
That's
something
called a
comes through
cult.
for you. That's going to be, yeah, that is
If I
called a
was
cult.
trying, if someone's trying
And
to
and
convince you of something, that's a cult.
yeah, yeah, you have to find that here. If somebody would have tried to force me to believe this stuff when I wasn't ready, I would have been running. I mean, I did. I There were several times I think I ran from the room. Ah,
Oh yeah.
so okay.
Oh, I wrote a
So
whole I
so
wrote my whole my I wrote my entire capstone project for my undergraduate degree saying this stuff was crazy. So,
yeah, right? It's
you
like
know.
I I think that I've gotten so comfortable with my abilities just because over the years the craziest shit's come out of my mouth, and when people can validate that, so basically they showed me more than I showed them. Does that make sense? By their validation, because I just thought it was nuts.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm
so
I'm constantly surprised like that. And I know it sounds really strange, but I'm curious if this happens to you. I'll give a reading to someone, and regardless of how long I'm doing this or who I'm talking to or how easy the information's coming through, I promise you the whole time I'm going, is this real? What's happening? Because it feels very strange. There is no way to explain in words what it feels like because I'm
yeah,
talking, but I'm
it's
not necessarily processing. And so my brain, Erin's brain, is sitting back here going, "What are you saying? This is insane." And then there's all these words just coming out. So it's whenever someone says, "Oh my gosh, you were exactly on. That's exactly right." Blah blah. I'm always like, "Really? Wow!" I'm just as surprised as you are. Like that's just
I'm
how it
always
works.
surprised what comes out of my mouth. I'm like,
Yes, I
oh
said
my
something to
god, I'm
someone
so
the other day.
sorry.
I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said something to someone the other day in a reading, and like I don't even know what I said. Something about food, and like it was face to face like this on a Zoom, and she
Uh-huh.
literally her eyes got really big, and she looked up and she lifted up a plate, and she had exactly what I just said on that plate, and I was like, I don't even know why I said that. And she's like, "Oh, sorry. Do you want me to put it away?" I'm like, "No, I don't care." Like,
Do you
but
are
stuff
you are
stuff like
you
that happens all the time.
do you taste it as well? I have tasted people's food. I've tasted what they've had for breakfast. I have tasted what they made for dinner. I've had lasagna, roast beef. I've had gross stuff too, which we won't mention, but I mean, I
No, I don't typically. I don't get the taste.
oh,
I sometimes will get the smell, but the smell typically has to be something that I associate with whatever's coming through.
that
Um,
is actually one of the more difficult pairs to develop. So that's
oh, well, sometimes it's not fun. Just,
oh no, I get it with the tasting.
yeah.
What did I
But
just eat?
right. But it's interesting because it's not based on the person I'm talking to because it's my guides giving me the information. So they
Yeah.
have to give me something that I associate with the information they're giving me. Just like the images I get, I tell people my images are kind of like my guides use metaphors in movie scenes.
Yeah.
They show
Yes.
me something that conveys a message, but it's not necessarily a literal thing. So if I see
Exactly.
someone digging in a garden, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to go dig up your garden. Usually what
No.
that means is that it's time to plant. There's time. And I think for a lot of people where they get caught up when they're learning to communicate with their guides and receive information is they try too hard with what they're receiving. Y-
Allow.
Yes.
Allow,
Think less,
allow,
think
allow.
less. Think
Let
less.
them bring it to you is what I
Let them
tell
bring it to
people.
you. They're gonna keep it simple. They're not trying to confuse you, so they're not gonna give you a math equation and tell you to figure it out, right? They're gonna use the
Not
most
in the beginning.
right. They're gonna use the most simple thing they can because they want the message to A, be clear, and B, you to understand it. So, don't overthink it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a good question. I'm going to throw this up on the.
Do our guides talk to other guides like other people's guides? I don't know, but I don't know. That's a
They
great
do.
question.
I have actually had my guides talk to, like, if I get tailgated, I will be like, James, that's my main guide. James, you think you can ask them to back off, talk to their guides, make them uncomfortable, and they'll do that. They'll put a thought in their head like, "Oh, she's something's going to happen," or they'll do something to cause them to back off. It's not causing anybody any harm. It's just getting the point across. Stop tailgating. Stop doing this.
That's
You
super interesting.
cannot control anybody. You
Right.
so a lot of people want like, can't you just tell their guides to tell them to do this? No, because that takes their power away, and your guides won't do that. They won't take
Right.
anybody's power away. All they can do is give an impression of something to kind of get you to go a certain direction, but whether or not you go the direction is on you. We all are responsible.
Very interesting, super interesting. I've never even really thought about that question because when I read for someone, I'm not talking to their guides. My guides are talking to me, and I never really thought, well, where are they getting their information? Like I never really considered
Oh,
that.
ask next time. Well, just a suggestion. Ask them to invite their guides. Ask your client. Shit, if I could talk. Okay, I'll try this again. Next time, invite their guides. So you know you have a client. I invite her guides and beings of love and light step forward to share any guidance and any messages that they need her to know to help her on her journey
I'll
to
try it.
God.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I could not spit that out for the life of me. Goodness sakes. Hi, Onea.
Newfoundland. Oh my gosh, I just went and saw Come From Away. It was amazing.
Newfoundland. Oh my goodness sakes. That's the way.
There's a musical called Come From Away. I believe it's about Newfoundland, about what happened during 9/11 when all these planes had to get diverted there and no one spoke the same languages. And it's a tiny little island. They had tiny little airport. It was a fantastic musical.
Oh, Onea is asking if this is Erin Brown with you.
Hi,
Yes,
it's me.
ma'am. It is the Erin Brown.
It is.
Okay, now how do I? Okay. I don't feel like I'm getting messages, is Sally. Most people say that. And it can be as simple as a coyote running in front of you, a bird trying to fly into your house, falling down on your way to work, shooting yourself in the face with water on your way to work. That could be a message. Maybe telling you the work might not be the best thing for you right now. So we're getting messages on so many levels all day long. It's just that we're looking for specific things. We might want that bonk on the head. Trust me, you don't. What happens if you keep ignoring the subtle messages is they do get bigger
Yeah.
until you tear a rotator or break your ribs or do something crazy like that.
Yeah. And your guides are
Those
like,
are
sit
big
down.
flicks. Yeah. Sit down, shut up.
Right. Hey, Amy, welcome in.
Okay.
Yeah, and I saw something about someone said, "I feel like I'm more claircognizant than something else," and I think that's pretty
Okay.
common too. The way I understand it is that we all have access to all of the clairs. However,
Yes.
just like any other talent you have, some people are going to be naturally more inclined to
Yes.
one than another. But everyone can learn to play the piano. Some
Yes.
people, it requires more practice, dedication, and stuff like that. And some people can sit down and be more natural at it. Your clairs are the same as far as I understand. And if you have one that's really not working for you, the
Yes.
best thing that I understand is to just practice. Just
Yes.
practice. It's like a muscle. You kind of have to get it
Yes.
going.
Yep. 100%. That's why when people say my gift, it sometimes drives me crazy because I feel like there are abilities that we all have. And I feel like if you tell somebody, oh, I have this gift, um, to me, it feels like you're saying I'm better than you. That's my ego. That's my trauma. I get that. But I still feel like they're gifts because I know that we all have the ability. We all do. It's not just this group of people have it, these don't.
Yeah.
It's God given abilities that for we've given
Yeah.
them at birth.
I think the word gift, that's a sticky word for me too.
Yeah,
I think it gives a feeling of, other than, and something, that a lot of people tend to come with me is I don't feel special enough. I feel I'm
yeah,
not good enough. The word
yeah,
gift also kind of adds to that, but something I would encourage everyone to remember is we live on a planet with what, 7 billion people? 6.9 of those billion people are literally walking around like this. The
yeah,
fact that you have done this is what makes you special. That's it. All you have to do is open your eyes, and then you are inherently welcomed right into all of this.
yes,
And when you can look at it like that, it doesn't make you better than or worse than. If you're looking for that feeling, I need to be special, that's what made you special, is that you recognize that there is something that connects all of us, that it's
yeah,
available to all of us, and that you don't have to be special to get it.
yeah. No, we're all special. And how we deliver it, like we all have abilities, but we're all going to deliver information differently. And not everybody is going to do it for a living just because they have access to that. You know,
Yeah,
everybody who might like to paint, but that doesn't mean they're going to paint for a living.
exactly.
But we all have access to that 100%. And like you said, some of us have natural, like my natural easy one was clairaudience. That was what came to me right away. Is I just hear shit all
Mhm.
day long, and then the other clair started to develop over time.
Yeah.
Okay, but
My strongest one, so I don't know how to describe what it is. It's like claircognizance, I guess. Like I just know things in the moment, but
yeah,
I'm not cognitively aware of it. I
right.
am a channel. So someone asked about my readings, and this answers that question and talks about this at the same time. I do tarot card readings only because it is the easiest way to get a message across in a medium where I can't talk to you, right?
Right.
So that is the main reason I do tarot card readings. When I have a private session with someone, I engage my channel. So, what that looks like for me is you and I sit down and we start having a conversation, and
Mhm.
my frequency starts to modulate your frequency. So, we're both kind of moving like this, and all of a sudden we do this. And then we start moving along together, and the conversation just starts to flow between us. And
Yeah.
we end up talking about everything under the sun. And you leave with a lot more clarity than you got there. And a lot of times, clients don't even ask the questions they came with
Eh,
because
yeah.
that's
Do you
never the
you
actual issue, right?
ah, I was just going to ask you if you feel like, because I have found that when I'm doing a reading and I don't ask people what they want to know, I just throw it out. And a lot of 90, probably 98% of the time, their guides are already having me talk about whatever it was they wanted to.
Right.
And the thing is, too, um, your guides may have better ideas than what you have. So you might
Yes.
just want to know if Tom's going to marry you tomorrow, and they might
Right.
be like, wait a second, we need to get to that trauma.
Right. Right.
So,
Well, I mean, for me, I always ask my first question is always, how can I help you today? Because I want to give
oh,
you the keys to the car. You're here. It's
love
your
that.
session. You're driving. How can I help you today? And that
Yes.
sparks the conversation typically. But to give a good example of what I mean, of how my channel works, I had a client the other day that when they came into the session, I said, how can I help you today? Their answer was, I'm trying to figure out where I need to move because I feel like I'm smothered where I am.
Mm,
And I was talking to this person and I said, well, what makes you think that moving is going to fix that? And they started to talk about, well, I don't like the area. I always am worried things are going to catch on fire, like all these things. And I started to say, where is this fear coming from?
mhm.
Well, I live this and this. And I just kept asking these questions until I got down to it. And I said, okay, so I think there's something bigger going on here. And you have to remember that when you move, you take yourself with you.
Mhm.
So you have to figure out where this fear is coming
That's
from,
awesome. Oh, I'm going to quote that: when you move, you take yourself with you.
right? You're still going to be there, right? So It was more about that this person was unhappy in their relationship and they were feeling smothered in the relationship. But because they were unwilling to address that, they were projecting that on their physical environment and telling themselves, if I move, I will feel better. If I do this, I will feel better. These
Right.
are all surface level solutions to a much deeper problem. So then the majority of the session was spent allowing this person to just talk about the relationship, talk about how they're feeling, getting it out in the open and getting sort of the poison out of the wound, because
Oh,
that's the
right.
first step in something like this. The fear is if I talk about it, I'll be judged. So you hold on to it. So what I do is
Mm,
I get down in there and I open that up and I say, all right, let it out, let it all the way out. And we're going to
yeah.
talk about it. And you can see it's not as scary as you think it is. And that's kind of how I work. So when this person came there, the question they had was, I need to figure out where I'm going to move. And we
Yeah.
did not even talk about it because through conversation, it came to be, oh, there's a much deeper problem here.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there. I don't want to say there always is, but there can be a lot of that. Because
Yeah.
when we're bringing stuff to the table, and we all have trauma, even if we don't think we do. We all pretty much do.
I don't know anybody who doesn't. You could have the best life ever and you're still going to have trauma because trauma is is not standard. It is individual. So what
It
is
is.
trauma for me and what is trauma for you are not the
Yep.
same thing. While
Anything you
there are many
cannot
things in
process.
common, right? Many things in
Mhm.
common. It may be traumatic to me that I had to eat like spaghetti when I was 7. Like I mean, there are different types
Yeah.
of trauma and you have to
Literally.
be respectful of that, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of people think it's just always somebody getting punched in the head or abused or neglected or I I think I don't know if I've shared this story with you, but I had a guy call me from prison when I first started this work and I was like, "I'm getting some trauma for you." And I was getting some ages and he's like, "I don't have any trauma." I was like, "Dude, you're in
Right.
prison. You don't have to be psychic to know you have trauma."
Right?
I'm so sorry, sir. Yes, you do. Anyway, we all do. We all
Yeah.
absolutely have
That's a
trauma.
great question, Sally. Sally says, "What about past life or ancestral trauma?" I will say about this, I have very limited knowledge on this. So I'm going to just tell you what I understand. And I think Melissa probably has a better answer. But for me, the way I understand it is because we are all extensions, like all of our past lives, all of our other lives are extensions of the same higher self. Therefore, they can have effect on one another just because they are connected in a vibrational manner, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that what happened in one lifetime will repeat in another, maybe. But like when you pluck a guitar string, the string next to it also vibrates. Same kind of idea. I do believe that you can carry forward traumas, wounds from other lives, especially if they were
100%.
incredibly
I know that
intense.
one for a fact. Absolutely.
Especially if they were incredibly intense. I've had sessions with clients where I will have received images of other life experiences that they
Yes.
had that was so traumatic that it's like the way it was explained to me by my guide is like an echo in the energy. It's like a bomb goes off and it affects multiple aspects of that
Yes.
self because it's not and that's never it's never something small. It's always something like the loss of a child is something I've seen have that big bomb effect.
Yep.
Being in a war has had that big bomb effect. Um,
Generational trauma absolutely
all
gets
kinds of
handed
stuff
down.
like that. So
And
that's how
that's
I but I have a very limited understanding on
that's
it.
so that is also it gets handed down literally through our DNA is my understanding, but also because our parents were raised by their parents who had trauma, who were raised. So all of the ways we were raised got filtered down to us.
Oh,
And then
sure.
so that all that so it's an actual physical thing that is sharing the generational trauma too, not just that, oh, it got passed down in DNA. So, oh, and not only that, you're dealing with your lineage because we don't always incorporate back into the same family tree.
Thank God.
Yeah. So you're dealing with the entangled web of this family's generational line and all the trauma that got handed down here and stuff from your past lives.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like this great big vacuum of, oh Lord. I'm here to clear some things. So that's, I think it's so important to be kind to yourself as we're moving through Earth School, because it can't. I mean, there's so much that
Yeah.
we're dealing with. There's so much.
They better not give me like a survey card.
I know, right?
I have some suggestions.
I have some too.
1 star.
It's like, oh shoot. Okay, I'm gonna open up some questions here. Where'd it go? I thought I clicked on it. Favorite. Allison is asking favorite guide message in a reading. I'm not quite sure. Favorite message we've heard some from somebody's guide. I had a guy's guides channel completely through me, like I wasn't even there, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I do channel, but this guy's guides were like, pardon the pun here, but like, get the fuck out of the way. And they were just, I was like, just, it was amazing. I was just like, I would do that again. It made my day so much easier.
That's
So,
fun. I d
so that,
For me, currently, I don't other people's guides don't talk to me. My guide, maybe she's just very possessive and chatty, I don't know. But my guide's name is Uriah, and I call her she. She's not a human looking. She's a ball of. She looks like a blue electric cotton ball. So I'm just calling her because it's easier. Um,
she presents with
she
feminine energy.
I don't even know that she has a feminine energy. She feels
Oh,
very
okay.
neutral. I call her she because it just feels more natural than saying he, and I think that's because I like girls better than boys. I don't know.
Well, you know that we don't have sex on the soul doesn't have sex.
Right. For some reason that's just how it comes out, you know.
Well, I love
But
it.
she has a sense of humor. She will have me say the most random things in the middle of a channel sometimes, and it will make the person laugh. It'll throw me completely off, or I'll say it and then I'll sit there for a second and I'm like, sorry, like,
I do
uh,
that too. Oh shit.
because for me, when I'm channeling, it's almost like my brain is moving a lot slower than my mouth. So by the time
Yeah.
my brain catches up with what my mouth says, sometimes I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on, you know. But she
I think
definitely has
that's
a sense of humor.
I think that's when you're truly channeling. For me, when I'm truly channeling and they're speaking through me, it doesn't run through my filter.
Oh
So
no,
it
no,
comes right out my mouth, and then I will be just as surprised as you are. Like, oh,
yeah,
so I to me that's true channeling, because
yeah.
it just flows. It just flows. Okay. That's a great question. We can absolutely heal our past life and our ancestral trauma. I do think meditation is key for that. And I
And
also
choices.
think 100%. Yes, ma'am. Um, I know
Choose
that there
better.
are all these new woo woo. I say woo woo kinds of things out there that you can do, like heal your trauma. Literally, the thing is there's no shortcuts.
Nope.
You have to do whatever work you need to do to heal yourself, to heal the trauma.
The hardest part about spirituality is you must take accountability for your own actions.
You have to be
And
present
we have
for.
all grown in a society that has championed not that.
Yeah,
It is a society full of litigious people who are ready to sue you at the drop of a hat because they want to blame you for something that they did.
yeah, yeah.
And that's not just the US, that's everywhere. And it's getting worse and worse and worse because accountability is low on the list. And in spirituality, if you do not take accountability for your actions, you will not move from where you are.
Yep.
And there's no getting around it. There's no bypassing it. You can say love
There's
and
no
light all day,
bypass.
but if you don't deal
Yeah.
with your trauma, friend, it's still going to be there when you go to sleep. So,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for. April has a question for you here. When you talk to clients, do I need to read this or do you want to read it?
I'll read it. When you talk
Okay.
to clients about these deeper issues, talking about it in this way of digging deeper, is that the solution or is there more to it after this session? Kind of hinting at shadow work. So that's a great question. And I think it depends on what it is. Most often, it's not the end because What I happen to be very good at is perspective and bringing stuff to the surface so that you can actually see it. Like
Yeah.
the person who was trying to move rather than deal with the relationship they didn't want to be in.
Run.
So
Run.
now
Yeah.
what has happened in that session is the person walks away with an understanding this is the actual problem.
Hmm.
I am not the one who's going to give you a checklist and say, do this, do this, do this, do this, because that's not my job. My job is to get you to see what the actual issue is and then give you the tools to help you go after that and figure that out. So, one of the things that we did at the end of that session is they said, well, how do I talk to my partner about this? I don't have the words. So, I put on my psychologist hat that I have a degree in, and I
Hmm.
said, here are some tools to help you speak coherently and stay on track and have an open conversation with your partner. And I said, I would encourage you to find a therapist that you are comfortable with. And when you go into this conversation, have all your tools. And then, because I am not someone who's ever going to tell anyone to throw away a relationship unless you are physically being harmed or emotionally abused. I will not tell you to walk away from that because I have seen with my own eyeballs, people can change. My own
Yep.
husband did it. And I will not throw love or a relationship away for nothing.
Yeah.
But if you don't talk about it and you don't deal with it, it breeds contempt and you cannot get that out of your system. Once it starts
Yeah.
to grow, it's like a cancer. So,
Yes.
to answer the question, most of the time when people leave my sessions, if they rebook with me, it's not typically to work on the same issue. It's to work on something else that has come up. How come I can't get past this? How come I have a fear of this? Why do I have such a lack mindset with money? Why do I have such this? Because when you're in the middle of a dark forest, it's really hard to see how big it is.
Yeah.
I'm
It
standing over
is.
it with a flashlight going, you're almost there. Keep going.
Okay. I have somebody's grandpa coming in.
Ooh, I love it.
Cool. Oh boy, what a cry. There's a lot of emotions around his face. That's typical grandpa hair. So don't everybody say it's my grandpa because I don't have enough information to share yet. He's pulling me to chocolate. I don't know what the hell that means.
Sounds
Uh,
delicious.
I know I like chocolate, but he's he kind of has a longer face. He has a warmer skin tone. Um, I keep I don't know if he's saying Dan. Dan. That doesn't mean it's his name for anybody watching this. It could be the name of somebody connected to him. I don't know that yet. There's also the name Elliot. It's a unique. I like that name. That's a fun name. March is coming up, and the number 32. It does feel like he passed unexpectedly. If any of this makes sense to you, please feel free to let me know. But not if it's just the silver hair. I won't take that. Cancer. There's a cancer scare in the family. Well, that's pretty much everybody in society, I think. He keeps coming through. Sorry, like Epstein. I'm so sorry. But he has that kind of face, but not like I think Epstein kind of had more jowls. He doesn't have that. He's kind of a more like a oblong face.
Like a
He's
Clooney.
yeah, not as big as jowls. And he's saying heart attack. He pulls me to the chest. He's kind of putting a suit on. I don't feel like that was like his everyday thing, but I feel like he did want to look nice. I do feel like he smelled nice. He is giving me the name Mary. It keeps giving me chocolate. I don't know what that is. I mean, most spirits don't want to talk about chocolate. Does anybody understand that?
How fun.
Uh, I'm usually pretty good about just going to the person. Your dad's dead. Your mom, I mean, kind of
Your
stuff.
dad's dead.
But
Your dad's dead.
your dad's dead. I'm very classy like that. Okay. I'm going to just hold on to this and see if anything else will come through. Sorry. And that was when I was looking at One. So she had a question, and I did want to bring this up because she was asking Do you remember when you channel? Sometimes and sometimes no, it depends.
Almost never.
Okay.
I actually, when you have a private session with me, I actually have an AI assistant that records it because I will not remember it. And so the AI assistant records it and takes notes for me. And then you'll get an email with the notes because I will have zero idea. Even 2 minutes after the conversation is over, people have asked me about something. And it's like when I try to remember it, it's a very strange feeling. It's like that feeling of trying to remember a dream. It's like very fuzzy and not really there. And it's almost immediately.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't even hear what you said, and I apologize
No,
because
that's okay.
I
No,
was
you're
just
good.
writing. He keeps coming back with grandfather, and then instead of saying chocolate, this time he said mocha. He
Mm.
says chest. He said with the girls. He's giving me the name Daniel. He said he's talking about three friends, and he gave me the name Steve and Mark. Um, he's giving me the Gemini in my lungs. Keeps pulling me to the chest. Um, I have an. You have Elliot. That's your grandson. Onea, do you understand any of this? The rest of this? We have a couple of people who are starting to understand some of that. Mary understands some of it.
You said the name Mary.
I did say the name Mary and an aunt. How much of that do you understand, Miss Mary? Do you understand the description of the silvery hair? Kind of like, I would say kind of salt and peppery, but it felt like it had more silver in it. Oh, fuck, my thing just disappeared. Scared the shit out of me. My whole screen just left.
Oh, that's weird.
I know. I, I've been having the weirdest. I just tell people I just get weirder and weirder.
Mary said she takes something her dad related to the chest. Her dad's name was Daniel.
Oh. Do you understand him in a green shirt, Mary? Silvery hair was your uncle. So you got, there's a brother in spirit too. Does your dad have a brother in spirit as well?
She said her uncle is married to her aunt Mary.
Her uncle. Okay. Does your dad have a brother in spirit? He's saying collection, like collection agency, collection. Frontier. I want my family here. I want my family here. Oh, your dad has two brothers in spirit. Okay, 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 okay. Message for you. Take care of your health. Um, I'm so sorry. I don't want to call you out, but I think he's having me call you out.
Uh-oh.
um, I feel like it's going to be really important that you pay attention if you're getting like any twitters in your chest or anything like that. Just pay attention to that. And then if you have to go to a doctor to say, hey, just rule things out. And I'm not saying that to scare you, but he's making me feel like, oh, she's not taking care of her health. I need her to take care of herself. Do you understand that? She's probably going to say, I run 20 miles a day. What the hell? Okay.
That's really interesting. How often does that happen with you when someone just kind of walks in?
Usually it is more when I'm looking at somebody's name or if like I'm doing group events and I'll look at somebody, I'm like, oh, their dad's right there. Oh, or their mom. Or so when I'm doing group events, it's very I mean, I do it all the time. When I'm doing this, it's usually more so when I'm staring at somebody. what I found interesting is he popped in when I was looking at Onea's name. So
Very
that's why
interesting.
I know. And then for me to get Elliot, but she doesn't understand. She said she doesn't really understand the rest of it. But Elliot's pretty significant. I mean, that's not a name I probably get very much. I usually get a lot of Mary, Martha, Margaret, Bill, Bob, William, Tom. I get those names all the time. Those are very common names, but Elliot's not one I usually get a lot of. So um, it'll be interesting.
The only
Oh, good. She's not scared of the message. Okay.
That's good.
And she
The only
understands it.
past the only past person who's ever appeared to me as an actual person was my own dad. And that was over a year after he died. And I remember being very upset when he died. I mean, obviously I was upset when he died, but I was more pissed off at him because
Sure.
I was like, why didn't you say goodbye? You know I'm open to this. Why didn't you, like, I
Yeah.
was very angry. And a year later, I finally was in meditation one day and he just appeared to me like as clear as a bell. And he looked like he was about 30 years old, how I remember he looked when I was a
Yeah.
kid. And he had on his jean jacket and he had his collar popped up and he had his mustache looked amazing. And I just remember
Oh,
staring at him and I asked him, "Why did you wait so long?" And he said, "Because grief is like a blanket and you have to have time to process this because I don't feel the pain but you do. And
yeah.
I need to let you heal before I come talk to you." And then I said, "What did death feel like?" And my dad had COPD and a heart
Oh,
problem and all kinds of stuff. And he said it was the biggest, freshest breath he ever took and he's never felt better. And he said, "I'm good." And he just evaporated and has never come back.
yeah. And that's not uncommon for them to get their message to you and then kind of step back and let you live their life. Their souls aren't just not doing anything, believe it or not. They actually, there's a lot of stuff that happens on the other side of the veil. They are like busy little woo woo worker bees kind of thing.
Yeah.
They've
Well,
got
they no
their
longer
things
have the
going on.
physical body that needs to rest. We don't have any
Yeah.
of that contrast. We don't have any of the stuff that makes things feel so heavy here, you
Yeah.
know?
No, it's amazing. I've never had anybody say, damn. On the other side, they've always been so like, oh my God. They're celebrated when they make it back too, because it's a journey. And once you've been a human, oh Lord, that's a lot. so
Yeah.
so there's this celebration, but we of course we have that hurt and that longing and we miss them, so we want to hug them. And um but on the other side, it is a celebration. I know most people don't want to know that and don't care, but I do think it is important to know that they're okay, that they're doing great. They're not lost somewhere. They are in a beautiful place for what they need to do next.
Mhm.
Okay. Mary said, "Damn, these comments take so long to share." I know. It's
Oh,
so
she also said, "I collapsed about a year and a half ago. I have an arrhythmia."
oh,
Mary.
okay, honey. They're saying I'm okay. That makes me feel better because I didn't want to call anybody, if you never had any heart problems and then all of a sudden I just scared the shit out of you. Okay. Whew.
She also said that both her uncle and her dad would be wise ass or direct,
Oh,
and that her
cool.
dad is probably loving yelling at her.
He's like, you need to take care of yourself. It's like,
Sally, is it easier to be a Pleiadian girl? I don't know. I don't get the impression it's easy to do anything, but you know.
where's that? I can't even see it. To be Pleiadian. I don't actually think so. I think it's just the same as anybody else. I do have somebody I know who incarnated from the faith realm. I
Oh,
know. I
interesting.
know. I think that when they come from certain realms, like angelic realm or whatever it is, um, that it can be more difficult because they come from such a place of love.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
we
That
all
makes
do,
sense.
just for the record.
That makes sense to me. I
But
had
it's
someone this is super fun. I had a mentor of mine a long time ago when I was first getting into this. She asked me, she goes, "Do you know why you like sparkly stuff so much?" Because literally, if you know me, everything I own is sparkly.
yeah,
Everything. I wear sparkly makeup. I wear sparkly everything. I'm a
I love
sparkle,
it.
right? And I said, "Because it's pretty." And she goes, She goes, "Because you remember what it looks like." And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You remember what it looks like on the other side, and this is the closest you can get to that here."
Oh,
And I just when she said it, I got hot all through my body, and I go, "Yeah, that's
oh
it."
my gosh. Oh my, I love it. Let me just say this real quick to Mary. Mary, if you email me or message my page, I'll scan these notes in and send them to you. Uh, may I ask, what is a Pleiadian? You sure can. It is an alien.
It is a non-human intelligence from the
And not,
star system of Pleiades.
and it is, it might be a lot for some people to digest. Just take what you're ready for. If you're not ready for it, just run. Amy says you're part Raven.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I will say, if you've watched Wednesday, right, they talk about dividing people into ravens and doves, right? I'm much more of
Oh,
a dove than a raven.
oh.
Ravens tend to be more on the I hate to use the word dark, but the darker side of things, and doves tend to be more
Light and
crystalline,
fluffy.
light side. One
And
requires
those,
the other. One requires the other. We must have both, right? And
yeah.
it's Wednesday was a raven and her mother was a dove, right? So Morticia's a dove and Wednesday's a raven. So I tend to be much more of
Oh,
a dove than a raven.
oh,
But I love that
interesting.
said I was part raven. That's cool.
I have somebody's mom who passed from a stroke too. Yeah, she just pops in right over here. She has her hair kind of up. I do feel like I want to go like 60s, 70s, possibly early 80s. I know.
Yes, Amy. If that's what you meant, like I'm part raven, I was because I like
Oh, is that what
sparkly
she
things.
meant?
Yes, and I'll give you a prize if you give me sparkly stuff.
I like I wear sparkly. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to when we're done. I'll have to show you my shoes. Sparkly for when I do events. I like to be sparkly too.
Mm.
Because in my whole life, I'm usually not very sparkly
Oh,
anyway. I live on a
everything I
farm.
have. I have a Steelers jacket that is all sequins, and I wear it everywhere.
Okay. Um, Sally. Oh, don't give me any information. Let her give it to us. So whenever you're getting a reading, it's not your job to give the information. It's the medium's job to bring through the loved one. I get some people so excited they want to tell me their life story. No, that's not your job. So, would you understand her hair up like I see it like behind the ears, kind of a silver something. It's more peppery than the way she's presenting. It's more peppery than salt, but there's some salt in there. And it's short and it's kind of fluffier on top. It's like a total 80s haircut. She has a fuller face, medium skin tone, a little more to the lighter side than darker. I hear the word jam. That's like jelly, jam. Pieces of me with you. Ha ha, she says, ha ha. And then she's talking, she's got potatoes. But I don't, I am getting the most random stuff this evening. Do you understand that, Sally? Any of that? Oh, she said yes. Okay. More white. So lighter skin tone. Do you understand? She like, I hear like I wasn't too sick. I didn't want to drag it out too long, she said. Does that make any sense? Was your mom kind of like, let's get this shit done? Oh, her hair was white. Well, that's not what I'm seeing. Do you know, Sally, where the blended family would come in? And now she's showing me a folding table. Are you camping? Like the plastic folding tables and you pull the legs down. You said I usually have them when I'm camping. I don't know. And do you know the Mary Margaret? Yeah, blended family. She said yes. Blended family where two families come together. Maybe dad had kids that came together now. And I don't know if you've met me, but I will argue with you because I believe dead people more than living because they have access to information. So don't say no to that, please. Write it down. And then there's just somebody's trying to say karma kills. No, it doesn't. That's not karma. And then, do you know who passed it home? Does anybody else understand this? And I keep wanting to do this. Like, that feels to me very much like somebody was restricted. And there's an HR sound like Harry or Harold or Herman. Now I'm thinking of the Munster family, the Munster. But it feels like restriction. But honey, I'm telling you, there's a blended family. There's somewhere where there's a blended family, and I oddly wanted to go up to the grandfather. Okay, so then we'll have you take yourself out of this equation, and we'll see if it resonates with anybody else. I just keep hearing it does resonate with you. I want you to just write down whatever it was that I said, sweetie, and just it doesn't have to make any sense right now, but for some reason I am hyper focused on your name, and I can be like a dog on a bone, like so just hold on to it. Okay, thank you. I just keep wanting to go over you also, like the older gentleman, and I feel like it's grandfather. I want to be on mom's side of the family. And then I hear crush. Well, Deborah swooped in. She's like, that makes sense to me. Okay, Sally says her ex in laws are blended. Just hold on to that. And we'll go ahead and go back if there's any other questions, and I'll try to pull out of that. I just heard the message is I'm your guidance counselor. Like, so this would have felt like somebody that we talked to get insight. Cancer's coming up too. And she's wearing a pink shirt with a collar on it, and then I'll drop it there. Okay. Okay. Oh, see, there is a blended family. See, this is why I argue with people. So, all right, go ahead, Erin. Did you have anything you wanted to add or share?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I was just sitting here and I was like, I don't think I've ever had a mediumship reading. I've had tarot readings, I've had energy readings, I've had crystals, I don't think I've actually ever sat down with a medium now that I think, and I was literally in my head, I'm like, really? I haven't? Like,
That's funny. Well, I was like, for once a month for 3 months, you have, or 2 months. This is our
right.
third month.
Right. Well, I mean, I haven't sat down and like,
I
hey,
get no,
read,
I
what I
yeah.
mean? Like and it was, it just struck me as odd, as something I've done so many things. Why haven't I done that? Like, what? I don't. It's very strange. It never even occurred to me. I don't know why. I've had hypnosis sessions. I've had 3 quantum hypnosis healing sessions. Those
Yes.
were mind blowing.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind blowing.
Those are
Um,
fabulous.
I've had human design sessions. I've had all the stuff, like all the spices.
All the spices. What's human design?
Human design is it's a blend of kind of astrology and a couple different things, and it comes up with a design chart called gateways or something like that. Like, I don't know,
Oh.
I don't have a lot of information on it,
Oh.
but it works with several different things. It's not just astrology, but several different things, and it kind of maps out things.
Got you.
In human design, I'm something called a projecting manifester, which is, when she explained it to me, I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. what that means is I'm very good as a teacher, but I need to be invited to the conversation. Like I can't walk into a
Oh,
room and I don't just instantly pick up on people's energy. But if you start talking to me, I will
right.
pick up on your energy. So she was explaining that to me and it was so interesting. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And then it was just it's like any other tool. It can give you a lot of insight about your life and
Yes.
patterns in your life and
That's
stuff like that.
awesome.
Really interesting, but the report is like 40 pages long. Like this is an in-depth, all kinds of information type stuff.
And so you just go in and do they just ask you lots of questions?
It's based on your birth date, your time and date of location, time and location of birth, and a couple other things. Like the woman that did it for me, her name was Maureen Webb. She was fantastic, and she just asked a couple questions, and then I had a face-to-face session with her, and she had everything prepared, and then she just
Oh.
told me all about it. So, and then I had a printout of that information, and it was kind of like someone who works on your car and then tells you
Mhm.
here's what everything, here's
Yeah,
the
the
manual, you know?
analytics. Yep.
Yeah, it was very much like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're asking me to give you a reading. I won't do it tonight because I'm tired, but if Erin wants to do that live, that's fine, but we need to give her the power to make that decision.
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure too. I'm always open if it comes up. If somebody jumps in like that, I'd always take it. But this is about you guys. This
Yeah.
session is for you. This is for you to ask questions and do stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we are about an hour 9 in. I don't know why I still have Aeneas on here. Um, I don't know how to I don't know how to pick. Oh, I just
What's your
learned
question,
something.
Julia? Julia says, "Can I ask a question?" What is your question? Depends on the question. You can always ask.
Oh, it came back. Oh, Lisa, Lisa, I'm going to give you the number 21. For those of you who are not, don't typically follow me, my guides will give me numbers for people. Numbers carry their own vibration. When you look up the number, just look up the number or the word numerology behind it. So you'll just type in, like I gave her, 21. Behind it, just type in numerology. It is a vibration that they're either telling you you're going to experience or it's something that you are experiencing, and they just want you to know you're right where you need to be. So that's all that does is when I give you numbers. I do it with animals as well. My guides just know it's easier for me. They're like, here, help her. So
Right.
they just give me numbers for
I was
people.
gonna
I don't
say,
know. I'm weird.
I would, as far as mediumship goes, I'd be more interested in talking to my dog than I would anybody else that died. Like my
Oh,
dog,
see.
like I
Would you
have
want to
a
do
like.
that next time?
Well,
Do you want to talk to your
yeah. So I'll show you.
You shouldn't just show me that because that might have come up.
Oh
Oh, is she and she's still alive?
no, he's been dead
Oh,
for 20 years.
oh, they can still come through.
Oh sure.
Absolutely. Oh, 100%. Shit. I was telling Erin before we joined yesterday, I got the privilege of talking to a monkey. Now I've worked with this monkey for several years. The last time I spoke with her, she was very chatty, but yesterday she was like, boom. And I love this monkey. She has a personality. She will like roll her eyes at you, and it's like she will. When I talk to her, she'll growl. She'll respond with like through telepathy. She'll respond audibly. I mean, she is so fun. I just freaking love her.
That is fun.
Okay. Um.
Thanks.
Aw, Erin. That's aw, Erin. Nice artwork, Erin.
Thanks. I have a lot of artwork.
Do you have a lot of? I have one on my ankle and it hurts so bad.
I'm covered.
I was a sissy lala.
I have one right here. See? These are the phases of the moon when my family,
Yeah.
so my husband, my daughter, and my
Oh.
son, phases of the
Oh,
moon when they were born,
fun.
and then a lotus for me. This is because my sister-in-law had breast cancer, and then I have a whole
Oh.
sleeve on this side. I got a bunch of them on my back. I got a bunch of them on my legs. I got
Oh my goodness.
one over here, one over here.
Do they hurt?
Um, well, they're not, fun, but
No.
some hurt more than others. The one that hurt the most, I have one on the back of my neck. That one I almost passed out. That was extremely painful, and
Oh,
I would never recommend or do it again.
no. Oh, Rochelle, you have. I should maybe I shouldn't call you out. I was going to say. So Rochelle is a friend. Several ladies on here. She has a lot of tats. She has sleeves,
Allison, that's a
and
great question. Allison says, "Can you communicate with living pets?" That is a great question. I would like to know the answer to that.
yes, you can too. So I just did it yesterday. I would say my animal sessions and my pet sessions are kind of probably 60-40, 60% human soul, that kind of thing, 40% animals. Okay. People, a lot of people, I called her out. Yes, I did. But a lot of people want to talk to animals in spirit to know if they're safe. Um, and same with people want to talk to their animals, want to know. So what I tell everybody is everybody can do it. And I didn't know about this ability. Um, First thing that happened for me was the mediumship, and then the psychic started to develop. And then a friend said, "Can you do this with animals?" And I was like, "I don't know." So she had her friend send me a picture of her horse to see if I could pick up anything from the photo. And as I'm looking at the photo, I had a Harry Potter moment where the picture started to move
Oh,
and the
weird.
horse charged me through the photo. And I was like, well, she just charged me. And she's like, yeah, that's the problem we're having. She's standing in the corner of her stall when we come in. She charges us. It's like, oh, okay then.
Huh.
So that is what kind of kicked off the animal thing because it wasn't something I did. I realized what you want to do is raise your vibration, come from a place of love. Think about the thing you love the most. And then I want you to think about the thing that makes you feel the most loved, and then you marry that. What that does is it causes your vibration to raise frequency.
Mhm.
Okay. And it puts you in this beautiful state because dogs have a higher vibration than we humans do. So it makes it easier for them to communicate. They're sending us pictures all day long of what they want, what they need, what their thoughts are. So they may show you a toilet bowl and you're like, what the hell is that? Well, maybe they're out of water and they know there's water in there. So pay attention to the images that you get in your mind when you're around your animals because they are communicating with you, whether you believe it or not. Just trust that. Okay. Do pets have guides too? Yes. Numbing cream helps. I don't know what that was.
For the
Oh,
tattoos.
I've been putting it, yeah, for not tattoos too. She's like, I need my. So a lot of people will do that. I need you to tell my dog this. It's just like telling your toddler, don't do that.
Right.
So they still have to learn through experiences the same way that we humans do. So for me, isn't just about me saying, here, don't do that, and they stop doing it. It is about understanding where the pattern is, what's causing it, what the human, and it's usually a reflection of what's going on with the human.
Yeah.
I would say 100% of the time. It's like, like dogs will take on, like my husband has a lot of injuries, and his dog, the one that's his, has a ton of injuries.
Oh,
I
funny.
mean, it's so now we just that's my dog.
I fully get my dog. The dog we have now.
Uh-huh.
He's so expressive and such a personality that I fully understand what he's getting at because he's usually
Oh,
trying to get me to give him something, you know, like
yes.
but he's recently gotten very vocal, which is new for him, where he doesn't bark, but he makes sounds like he'll sit down and he'll look at me and he'll go, "Ram." And you're like, look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm
You
dying. I
turn
don't have any
attention.
food. I'm dying. You know,
Bye.
he's very vocal. It's
Oh
hilarious.
my god. Oh, that's fun. Well, if you want to, we can do that next time.
Yeah, I would love to. I would
Okay.
love to. That would
I'll
be
write it
awesome.
down. Okay. So we'll do that. All right. Um, I think I think we're good. I don't even know if we answered any of the questions. I did have some questions, but let's touch on this one real quick. What can we do to eliminate negative energy in our homes? I have a lot of ideas and suggestions. Do you want to go first? You want me to?
My biggest and first suggestion is turn off the news.
Oh, Yes.
It
100%.
everything you watch on TV propagates a frequency, every single thing. And when you watch it, you are syncing with that frequency. So turn it
Yeah.
off. Turn on some
Yeah.
music. Turn on
Yeah.
music that makes you feel like dancing when you're doing your
Good
dishes.
music.
You
Good
know,
music.
something that makes you
Yes.
feel like moving when you're doing your dishes. Make your chores a fun game for yourself. If you want to energetically clear your house, like you can sage your house if you want to, but it's so much more about intention. Sage is a tool, yes, but just like Bashar says, I fully believe it's like a permission slip. It's
Yeah.
something that you believe has power, so it has power. But if you
Yeah.
walk around and also set your intention, I would like to welcome good energy into the space. I am allowing this old energy to leave. I think it has the same, at least in my experience, has the same kind of effect. So I think it really comes down to your intention and
Yeah.
what you believe, you know?
100%. I absolutely agree with that. Intention is everything. Um, Playing music raises your vibration. It can clear the energy in your home. You can, like, I have a
I was just going to say, ring a bell.
take this into the corner of your home and you can ring it. Okay, that is a very beautiful way to release energy. A glass of water. Put a glass of water in. If you have a room where there's a lot of arguing or a lot of just dense energy, it usually comes from arguing or confrontations or problems or issues. Put that glass of water out the next morning. Take that glass of water, dump it in Mother Earth. Do not dump it down your toilet. Do not drink it.
Don't
Don't
dump it
give
in
it to
your
your
garden.
husband. Don't dump it in your garden. Just put it in Mother Earth and let her do her thing. Okay. Um, Sage is a beautiful one. Take yourself some sage and go around your home. I usually invoke angels or beings of love and light when I'm doing it. That looked more like something else than it did sage, but that's sage.
Mm-hmm.
So sage your home. If I know that I have someone coming over who has really heavy energy, I will salt my doorways.
I blow
I have
cinnamon in the door first of the month, you know.
do all. I mean, there's so many woo woo kind of things you can do, but it's the intention behind whenever you do it. If you have some energy that's incredibly dense, I would use Palo Santo. I was thinking I had a stick here, but I don't see one. But Palo Santo is really good. Crystals in your home really raise the vibration of your home. Um,
Rose also has a very high frequency. So, rose oil,
oh
rose
yes,
essence,
yes.
rose water, that
Rose
all
water.
has high frequency to it. I put rose essence in my humidifier. My house smells great.
Okay,
And it
so
also, you know,
I can't use rose water because to me, I smell urine. It smells like I don't know. I don't know what it. My friend Rochelle was sprayed it. I wasn't at you, Rochelle. I mean, if she's still on here, she might not still be on here. But I was like, no, it smells like pee.
that is so does cilantro taste like soap to you?
No, I love
Very
cilantro.
interesting. That's a
Yeah.
genetic trait.
Yes, I heard.
So I wonder if the rose thing is a genetic trait.
We should look it up. Rose, um, rose water
Olfactory issues.
smell. Is this genetic? Anybody else ever? I mean, I might just be nuts, but is anybody else?
That's so funny. It's like my favorite smell on the whole planet. I have rose deodorant. I have rose candles. I have rose face spray. I have rose shampoo. I am a rose.
So when we meet
So
in
when we
person,
meet, I'm going to
I
smell like a big old doggy poo to you. Mental note.
like, so I won't think you potted yourself. It'll just be.
Well, I mean, more than one thing can be true at a time. Let's just be honest.
oh,
Like, you know.
oh, well, it's menopause. oh God. Okay, that was really funny. Okay, Rochelle's got to go. But night, sweet soul. Oh, her rose water was taken. Yeah, she and I went to Sedona last year and Donea. And I don't know if Casey is on here, but we all did a girls' trip.
Oh, that is that's something I want to
Yeah.
do. That is something I want to do. I don't know if you know who she is, but there's a girl on TikTok. Her name is Ashley, your spiritual bestie, and she does
Oh,
spiritual bestie weekends. where like she'll get a house of like 5-bedroom Airbnb for 4 days, and you
Oh,
can sign
right.
up and come and have a spiritual besties weekend where you just hang out. Like there's no pressure. You don't have to participate in a healing ritual, and you don't have to meditate, but you get to hang out with other girls, women who
Oh my
think like
God.
you in a safe space.
Yes.
And she did
Yes.
one in Sedona, and it looked so fun. They went on lots of hikes and they did all kinds of, I mean, this is
Oh,
what we need to be doing. This is how we need to be
it
building
is
our culture.
lifting
And
each other up.
it just feels
Yeah.
like such a wonderful place, like a good feeling,
Oh my God. Sedona is just a beautiful, beautiful place. Oh, she is on here. It's Casey. I'm calling people out tonight. Probably, hopefully, they won't send me dirty mails, dirty messages. Okay. All right. So, what do we cover? Turning
What is
off the news.
Sedona Ascension 2026?
Oh, that's so we went to Sedona Ascension 2025 in the spring of this year. So this is another one. So Bashar's there, Daryl Anka, he channels them. It is a ascension conference. So it's raising the awareness and the ascension of people. They have is it 2 days, Casey, or 3 days filled with just different events and different speakers, and you can participate in like there were several where you go out and you hike and then you go to vortexes and do things like that.
Ooh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, the four of us went and did our own little hike, and it was pretty amazing. And so I don't really have their permission to talk about what they do, but one of them channels and does light.
Light language?
Thank you. Yeah, that
That's
was
fun.
pretty freaking amazing. So
I want
yeah,
to really quick answer Julia's question, if that's okay.
okay.
I'm going to put on my
Oh,
psychologist hat.
this one. Okay, cool, cool.
Okay. So I'm going to come at this from a psychology standpoint and from my training in medicine. Okay. When someone has anxiety, if you become too forceful in trying to help them calm down, you are going to amplify the anxiety. One of the best things you can do for them is say to them, I recognize you're feeling anxious. What can I do right now to help you feel safe? And let them answer you. And if that means walk away, it means walk away. If that
Hmm.
means sit with me, it means sit with me. If it means stop talking, it means stop talking. The best thing you can do is ask and then do what they tell you to, because in that moment, they feel they have zero control. And if you
Hmm.
can give them a tiny piece of control, it will start to unravel the anxiety and it will give them something else to focus on. But you have to be direct and say to them, I recognize that you are feeling anxious. What can I do right now to help you feel safe? And then do what they tell you. And if they say,
Yeah.
I don't know, say, okay, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to stay here. And when you're ready, you tell me. And that's the best thing that you can do for someone having an anxiety attack.
I have a couple of offshoots to that too, because sometimes an anxiety attack can be brought on by spirit. And I think that it is an under acknowledged piece because I know I spent weeks, I would go to the doctor like a couple times a week because I was having really horrific
Yeah.
anxiety attacks. And what I discovered was that I was picking up people's dead people and I didn't know it. And
Yes.
I was feeling how they died. So, one, it is also going to be very helpful because they're not present. So, when they're having an anxiety attack, they're not here now. They're all over everywhere and they're panicking.
Mhm.
So, breath. So, to add to what she said, have the, if you can just say, suggest breathing. Now, you can't go up and tell anybody, calm down,
Right.
because
No,
in the fucking history of the world, nobody's calmed down by being
it
told.
is the worst thing to say to somebody in the
I
moment.
will punch you in the face. I'm kidding. I'm not violent, but you know what?
You may not be violent, but you might be in that moment.
Like, oh goodness. So, but I agree with what you said, and being with them, hold space for them, and just ask them what they need. But I would also add suggest the breath work, and then when they're not in an anxious state anymore, maybe a day or two later, you might just say, have you ever noticed that you do this around certain people? Because it could be that they're picking up their dead loved ones and not even kidding. And I think I've seen it happen several times at my personal events when people's dead loved ones walk into their energy and they start thinking they're having a heart attack. I've had two heart attack people now, and it was just because their loved ones were stepping into their energy. So I think it's super important for people to know that,
Hmm.
because you might just be a medium. Okay.
Anxiety can have root causes in a lot of stuff, not just endocrine
Yeah.
imbalance. But
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
endocrine imbalance can give you anxiety, but it is not the only thing that can give you anxiety. And it's unlikely that it will give you
Absolutely not.
anxiety all by itself. It's usually a combination of things, just from the medical standpoint and the training that I have.
Yeah. I like, and I love that you have that. It's kind of nice to have both sides.
It's helpful sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of times I would suggest. They didn't have any answers for what was going on with me. I had to figure that out myself, but I did spend a lot of time at the doctor.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about my rash, the rash I get? Yeah. That's a perfect example of not everything is one or. Sometimes it's both,
Mhm.
you know?
And there's such an intricate web that gets involved in it. It is this because this happened, but this had to happen, and I mean, it's just all of this.
Mhm.
Like, there's never just black or white.
Right.
There's so much gray. There's so much gray.
50
It's just
Shades to be
bizarre.
exact.
No, 50 Shades. I've never seen
Listen,
that.
as someone who's an avid reader, I love to read. Um, no shade to the author of those books, but
Yeah.
really, I
Were they
mean, it was
naughty? Were
kind
they
of like
bad?
reading something that you would write in high school. It's not hard to read. You know what I mean?
Oh, oh.
I think that it has wonderful entertainment, and I read it. Don't get me wrong, I read it. Okay, I read it.
You're
But
like,
it was
I'm gonna
kind
go to
of
bed.
for me, it was kind of like reading cotton candy. Like, there's not a lot of substance to
Oh,
it, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, but I definitely read it.
yeah. Oh shit, that's funny. I have it, and I haven't watched the movie. Okay, all right, kids. Shall we close here?
Sure.
Okay, and you hang around.
All right.
Okay. Thank you all for showing up. I wish you a wonderful